Many parents with autistic children fight for years to get their children diagnosed, and the earlier autism is treated, the better the chances are for the child. But now, the manual that all doctors use to diagnose behavioral disorders is looking at changing the definition of autism, making it narrower, excluding some children, and parents worry that would make it harder for them to get the help they need.
Hey, buddy.
Since Jonathan was 2.5, having a diagnosis of autism meant having access to treatment.
Awesome week. That's good news.
He's now 10, and his mother worries it's all going to change.
He is in that bubble category where he could fall off the spectrum and lose his diagnosis.
There are proposed changes to tighten up the list of behaviors and symptoms that qualify as autism.
In the new system, there would be no more label Asperger's syndrome. There would be no more label pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified, and there would be no more label autistic disorder. People who met the criteria for autism spectrum disorder would be diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder.
To have autism, patients would have to have all of the social and communication disabilities, not just some. And a minimum of 2 repetitive behaviors. Currently, some patients don't have any.
It brings clarity to the diagnosis of all patients to have one diagnosis, autism spectrum disorder, with different severity.
Some argue it's inflating the number of cases that have been on an alarming rise in recent years. Currently, nearly 200,000 cases in Canada.
Do you have any homework this weekend? What?
Having more ability means Jonathan and thousands of other Canadians would fall out of the spectrum and into a new category. Instead of autism, social communication disorder.
Right now, there's no mechanism to know whether a person who qualifies for social communication disorder would or would not be entitled to services.
That's the fear for parents like Lisa.
Will the services and the funding be provided based on the need, or is it going to be provided based on the label?
How the proposed new rules would be delivered may end up being as individual as the patients themselves.